Straight down there. Tom Blackmore, Honorary Secretary of the Winsford Town Boxing Club. So we've been here since 1970, so near 52 years.
My name's John Seiler. I'm a landscape architect for Cheshire West and Chester Council. I was very lucky to have been commissioned to design the park and to oversee the construction of the park. It's been a fantastic project. The journey was, when we were first brought in, the park was very much neglected.
It was just a hollow before the actual park.
Largely forgotten about. There was low footfall, there was high antisocial behaviour.
It used to get wrecked.
There was no lamppost here, there was no light. We only used to use it summer.
It used to be a really horrible, wooded, muddy area, and you couldn't do much with it, and especially winter.
From here, there was a big slope coming all the way down. It wasn't flat like this. It used to come all the way down here.
Access was a real issue with the design at the start of the project because the parks were too steep and they were limited. So it meant that people with wheelchairs and mobility issues couldn't get through the park. So when we came in, there was more or less a blank canvas. It needed a place to dwell, to mix, to interact, to create social engagement. It also needed a place to enjoy the wildlife, for play, for seasonal interest, for people watching, really, to social engage.
Cheshire West decided to turn it over and do something with it, and they built the original park, and then they handed it over to Winsford Town Council to run. So we do a lot of work on it now, and we put new swings and new stuff on it for the kids. But the boxing club still uses it 3 nights a week for the kids running around. They enjoy coming down here, doing exercises on the grass.
I think people enjoy coming through the park, you know, when it's nice, the weather's nice, and you do get it on a good day. It can be quite packed with families and that, which is nice.
You are close to the road, but it's very, very peaceful. You've got the trees, and you've got the noise of the kids playing, and it just takes you away from the hustle and bustle of working life.
The big parts of the boxing club's use of the park has been going since the 70s. All the children we'd send down the park because it was safe, we could see them, and there was no cars, no roads to cross. So many generations of kids that have come here who are now granddads, they use the park. This is the hills that the kids and the adults hate. Go backwards up the hill. Even the adults have come down here and done it. The adults would rather do a 3-mile run than run it down the park because they have to go backwards up the hill. They have to sprint for the lampposts, backwards up the hill.
As you'll see, we've created ponds, we've created herbaceous prairie planting.
I think the pond's a good idea for the children to see pond life. It's just exciting for Litlands to sort of see that sort of thing, or even, you know, we get squirrels and we get the birds and everything, plenty of pigeons.
Native trees, wildflower mixes. We commissioned an access audit at the start. Who we commissioned actually was a wheelchair user himself. So that was a very useful process. So we've done extensive remodelling of the footpaths in the park, and as you'll see, there's seating all located all around the park itself. So that just helps to create rest points for different users within the park.
So it's more accessible. Before it was only able for able-bodied to use, now people in wheelchairs can come. There's special adapted swings and roundabouts for wheelchair users. It's looking better, it's got lovely flowers and plants.
You know, the volunteers of the Friends of the Park come down and do good work keeping it all in order.
There's also a Ukrainian garden.
My youngest granddaughter had the privilege, along with some other members of her school and several other primary schools in Winsford, they came and they planted sunflower seeds for the Ukraine, which was very nice for all the children of Winsford from the different schools took part in it. It wasn't just one school, so it was very good.
We've created a fantastic play zone for different user groups, different age groups.
What does my dog get out of this? He gets a sniff, he gets a scratch, but he's on a long lead and he just gets to run about. Loves the place, absolutely loves it.
We've created picnic spots, we've created different seating areas, we've created public art. So the whole process and the whole journey and what we've achieved is of real value to the community. We've really tried hard to achieve placemaking in Winsford.
I'm Liam Hopkins, professionally known as Lazarian. I'm an artist and designer. So the sculptures that you see behind me here for Winsford Town Park, I called them the Seven Sisters. And funnily the local community has took it upon themselves, which is nice, to rename them the Salt Stacks. And the reason why I called them the Seven Sisters is because after many consultations with the people in Winsford, I found out a lovely story, which was an area of Winsford had lots of these chimneys, and they were built purely because of the salt industry. Along this street, apparently there was up to 13 of these chimneys, but the locals had named them the Seven Sisters. And I just love this story of actually, like, there was nothing to do with the number 7, and it was just this beautiful way of naming something in the town and becoming a landmark. So I wanted to kind of bring that back and the reference to salt, the industry. And when I first came to the town park, I kind of loved this kind of beautiful valley that you see. And it's also almost its own beautiful little landscape and its own little town within the park. And obviously when you start mining and when things start kind of collapsing, it was, you know, almost creates these valley types, which is, I instantly wanted to create something within this area because your eye's drawn through the park, but it's also got this beautiful kind of, the way how it just kind of scoops in and your eye drawn right through the park. And it's got beautiful history, what's still going on that people don't realise here in Winsford is the salt mining. Unfortunately, there's no longer any chimneys around in the town. So I wanted to kind of bring this reference back of chimneys and the salt industry. So that's why they created in these arrangements that are symbolic to the chimneys and the industry of Winsford. And then looking at it deeper, I found that within salt, the molecular structure is built in these arrangements where you've got, in geometry it's called an octahedron, which is these like diamond triangular sections. And so I wanted to kind of bring that reference through, but also the deeper meaning of these structures is that to reference the mining that happened within Winsford, is how they're designed is that if you look at them straight on from either the front or the side, they always make up a column, which is like the chimney. But then as you walk round them, they've got these bits that are taken away from them, which is the reference to the mining and how it actually starts to take away the structure of the land. And that was the whole kind of meaning behind these structures. So we just seen a beautiful little robin come and take centre stage on one of the sculptures. You can't get better than nature coming, having his little role. The lighting was a really important factor because I wanted these sculptures to be another thing at an evening and almost become alive, and that's one of the reasons why I chose the colour white. It reflects light beautifully. It's also white is the colour of all colours reflected. And what's beautiful about them being white is the community took ownership, and depending on different events is that they light them up different colours, which is something that I could only have wished for with the project, was actually having the community accept them and being part of the landscape.
As a landscape architect, it's been a real privilege to have been involved in this project. Just to see how it's been embraced by the community is a pleasure and a joy, actually, because often I'll come down and sit a while in the park and just watch the different user groups and how they use the park itself.
Now we've got young children, mothers come with babies sitting on the benches having picnics, and then we've got elderly people coming down in chairs to enjoy the flowers and the landscape. Every age group can use it. It's not just for one age group, it's for every age group.
It's been fantastic to see the play area being so busy, especially when it's sunny. Just the throughfall of walkers and people enjoying the wildlife as well.
It's not just for the boxing club, it's for everybody in the town, all the residents, disabled, well, anyone that can come down and enjoy the enjoyment of the park anytime they want.
After now revisiting the sculptures on various occasions and now a few years in, I'm really thankful for the community to kind of take ownership, and they become part of the kind of modern history of the town. I'd just like to say thank you to the council and the people of Winsford for having me create these pieces for you.
It's been a great experience, really. It's a peaceful place to come to mull over thoughts and to think about things, about everyday life. And it's a haven in a town of Winsford for the people of Winsford.